acquit him, then you say as innocent?
Yes, I know the articles prescribe death for what Bud has done.
Oh, stow the articles. They don't count for such a case as this. You said yourself, sir, Bud is innocent.
In a court more merciful than a martial one, I'd use my conscience. I'd even set him free.
When Claggart told his lies, the case went beyond the scope of military justice.
All I know is that I can't sit by and see an innocent man hanged.
Who would gain by Bud's death? The Admiralty?
You want to make us murderers?
What is this ship you serve on? An ark of peace? Go count her guns and then tell your conscience to lie quiet, if you can.
But that is war. This would be downright killing.
Our consciences are private matters, Ratcliffe, but we are public men. Dare we give our consciences precedence over the code that made us officers and which called this case to trial? Dare we? Do not think me pitiless in thus demanding sentence on a luckless boy. I feel as you do for him, and for myself, revulsion, shame, and rage.
Can I make a comment? I wanted to make a comment because as being that lucky young gentleman, Bud, one of the scenes we had on this huge ship that they built were the rat lines. And they were very shaky, and I'm sure Vince remembers building them. In one of the scenes, I ended up going up to the top, and I had to stay there for the whole scene. Now, down below, there was a lot of rustling and whatnot on the bottom, and I did hold on for dear life, because it was not easy holding on as the rat lines get smaller and smaller on the way up. I do remember that very well.
I'm glad you're still here.
I'm here.
Okay. I'm going to skip the next one, because the next one is Richard III. And I played Richard, so let's just skip over it.
Can you be by the mic? We can't hear you too well.
I said,
Get by the mic.
I'm going to skip over the next one because it's Richard III, and I'm going to go on to the other plays. Now is the winter of our discontent. May
You
glorious
still
summer.
need the mic. You still need the mic,
Oh, I still need the mic?
Glenn. Yeah,
Oh, they
yeah.
moved this, okay. After Richard III, Malachi did The Tale of Two Cities. And again, it was a tour de force in stagecraft, because what Malachi did was to build a revolving stage in which both France and England could be simultaneously on the stage, but hidden from each other. Because
Wow.
Obviously, one scene would turn and it would be France, and the next scene would turn and it would be in England. For this, I need two people, and it's the scene where Charles Darnay, who was the immigrant, is put on trial in London for treason, against the British Crown. And Stryver, who is the associate of what's his name? Can't think of it. Darnay is the Frenchman. Who's the other?
Carton, Sidney Carton?
Sidney Carton, right. So I need Sidney Carton and Mr. Stryver.
Glenn, before you start, that's the revolving stage. We spent 3 nights right up on the bed getting that thing to work.
Okay,
Because the flange in the center kept breaking.
yeah.
And one time the stage almost rolled off.
The stage was circular, and Vince said that they spent 3 nights trying to get the thing correct, because the flange in the middle of the turn wheel, I guess it was basically a large lazy Susan, kept on breaking off. Okay?
What year was it, Glenn?
Let's see, Tale of Two Cities was in 61.
Okay.
61. So do I have a Mr. Stryver and a
Sidney Carton.
Sidney Carton?
You guys hear that?
We're looking for.
Mr. Stryver and a Sidney Carton.
All right,
Here we go.
just need an
While
icebreaker.
we're waiting for the other person, that particular play didn't use the revolving stage. We used 4 platforms on wheels. The inside was a house or a living room, and the outside was the outside of the house. So that, and Bob, you were on the stage crew then, weren't you? Yeah, he was stage manager. And
Was it done earlier?
did you do it? Did you do that twice?
When did he do the?
The revolving stage was in the Passion play.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
the Passion Play?
Yeah. And, but in this one, the uniqueness that he came up with was that when the audience saw the inside, you could be in France or in England or in the trial area. I played Dr. Manette in that one. And, but if you can imagine, there used to be a cyclotron in the back, huge screen, and you could project various light images on it. And what Malachi did is he created a shadow of the Bastille, and all of the stage crew and the other players, what they did is they turned the little rooms so you saw the outside. So as the crowd started on this side of the stage, you saw them running through the streets of Paris. And then it switched around and they came out of this side. And then all you saw were the outside of the houses or the little rooms. And then you saw shadows of the people, similar to the rat lines, climbing up to the Bastille, and then the curtain came down for the attack. It was the most mind-boggling thing I have ever seen, and he was genius in the way that it was done. And the stage crew, really, the stage crew made all of these things work. It was just amazing.
I apologize because I thought it was that.
No, but it was that same year that he had pillars going up the middle of that turntable, and you could create all sorts of different areas. Ray Caffrey was the Christus that year.
I
Okay,
just wanted to add one thing to that, since a lot of you know Malachi. You know, we were so precise in making these buildings and the outside of it, and I'm watching the crew, we're making the stones that these buildings were made out of, trying to get them all nice and precise, and each of these things had a different pastel color to them. So we were so proud that we did such a great job on this, and we're finishing up and heading over to
And
to
Malachi
dinner.
comes out with the
Malachi
black
comes
maid.
in dressed in overalls and everything, and a spray thing, and he sprayed the whole damn thing like it's that back there black, because it was sooty in the city, you know. So the thing is, and I'm going, why do we spend all this time?
Yeah, right.
okay, Mike just gave you the evil on the time, and we gotta wrap it up here. Now, we got one to go, Glenn, is that very long?
We can wrap it up. But just do this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
So are you gonna do the other, okay.
Are we gonna do that one?
you want,
He's as good as any.
okay, who do you want to do? You want to start it?
I didn't get any of the lead parts in this one. So.
Well,
You wanna
now's
do
your
Sidney
chance,
Carton?
come on.
He's the hero, isn't he? Carton?
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
you want to do the hero? Carton?
I've never been the hero. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, do the hero.
I'll start with Mr. Stryver. That's him there. He calls himself Darnay, Charles Darnay. I tell you, the Marquis is going to make it well worthwhile for both of us. Really. Not working yet, Carton? This is too much. You've got to put your mind in this case.
No, not possible.
They've got this Charles Darnay up for treason.
I don't know Charles Darnay. I hate treason. I hate Frenchmen. For that matter, I hate Englishmen. Yes, but Lord Henry sent this case to us with a special request for all my consideration.
It's not my consideration he wants, it's yours. Why don't you give it to him? Of course. I count on you for a little help.
You don't need me. You're a great barrister, Stryver. The Stryver of the King's Bench Bar. Well, if I am, it's due to perseverance. I had to get into the front rank, and I wasn't born there, was I? I use my brains.
Okay, maybe this is a mistake. Go ahead.
Okay. You use mine, you mean?
Well, if I do, I pay you for it.
Well, not enough to justify your interfering with my drinking. But this is a treason case. It's a matter of life and death.
Well, so is everything else. What of it, Carton? I beg of you, have a look at this brief. With a man's life in your hands, how can you hesitate?
Well, I don't hesitate, Mr. Darnay. Fate have it that I should handle your case. Your life is in my hands. I may lead you to fortune or the grave. Who knows? Who cares?
Fantastic. None of you have lost it, okay? I'm not just going to summarize because we want to be finished by 4. Jim?
We have to be at Mass by 4.
There was another play that Gabriel did called what? The Paths of Glory. The Paths of Glory. What?
Mass is at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
Mass is at 4.
yes, we're finished then.
Is Bob here? Bob here,
We just left.
because he's the one that's celebrating, calling the shots on the mass. We go see where he is.
You said he was leaving, go over there. He was leaving?
Well, I guess he would. He's probably gone.
We may be leaving.
All right.
Jim, you said he was leaving to go over early.
Oh, okay, he's already gone. What do you have left?
Well, I just have the Paths of Glory was another, I don't know, Bob, were you the stage manager for that? What that was the trenches of a French, of the Frenchmen during the First World War. And again, it was another trial. It was about an attack that was called, and the men refused to go into the attack, and the commanding officer defends them against a tribunal. I just want to end one thing here. In '67, the news came.
It's almost 4 o'clock for Mass,
Okay,
right?
we're done.
Sorry.
Okay, well, thank you, Glenn. That was good. I think, yeah, it gave us a flavor of what we used to do many years ago here. And we appreciate the contributions of everyone who came and participated. So now on to St. Agnes.
All right.
For Mass.
How the hell do I turn this light off? Turn off too, I assume. So, honey, are we doing anything at the dinner that I'm going to need to film? Why does this light keep coming on? I don't know. I don't know how to turn the damn thing off. God.